Any of the items that we'll be taking action on this evening on your agenda, please fill out a form, very simple. Fill out the form, return it to the board table, and at the time those items are called up on the agenda, if anyone would like to speak, we will allow you that portion of time. We will also have time at the end of the meeting for public comment for any subject that you would like to bring forward before the board. We welcome those comments as well. That at the same, there's a form up here near Attorney Elwood. Please grab one of the forms, fill it out, and return it to the board table, and we'll be happy to recognize you. With that, I'd like to call to order our Monday, October the 10th board discussion meeting. We'll begin with our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is a meeting of the school board in public for the purpose of conducting school corporation business and is not considered a public community meeting. As mentioned earlier, there will be time in the meeting for public participation as indicated on the agenda. All board members were provided background information to the various items on the agenda in preparation for this meeting. Our meeting is being live streamed. And we also, again, have our public comment forms, and we welcome you to come forward. So with that, we'll begin our meeting with our good news report.
My name is Olivia Pierce, and I am a Public Relations and Marketing Intern for Portage Township Schools. Here is tonight's good news report. Our Sailor Elementary students have been getting to know their local public library. They recently took a field trip to the South Haven Public Library where the librarian, Miss Amanda, read 2 stories, then took them on a tour of the library. She explained where students can find various types of books, where the circulation desk is located, and how they can get a library card if they do not have one. The Post-Tribune recently visited Central Elementary School to see the progress being made on our library renovation project. Once completed, the libraries at all 8 elementary schools and both middle schools will have new flooring, furniture, technology, and shelving with books organized by genre. Make sure to check out the article on posttrib.com about our new libraries and how we will be incorporating STEM activities with reading in these updated spaces.
Take a look at our room!
Our elementary students have been visiting the new L3 lab at Portage High School to enjoy fun and hands-on STEM activities. What does L3 mean? Come find out at the L3 open house on October 27th at 4 p.m. As you can tell from the video, our students have been loving it. Students across the district are celebrating Hispanic culture through fun and educational activities. One class learned how to play Loteria, a popular game that is similar to bingo. An art class created alebrijes, animals using hojalata tin art to create traditional folk art. PHS 2016 grad Zach Smith made history this week with the launch of the NASA SpaceX Crew 5 mission to the International Space Station. Zach is a SpaceX integration technician who worked to ready the Dragon capsule cabin for this week's successful launch. As a PHS student, Zach was a member of the MCJROTC and National Honor Society. After graduation, he spent 6 years in the U.S. Army as an Apache helicopter maintainer before obtaining his current job with SpaceX. Congratulations, Zach! This has been the Good News Report. I'm Olivia Pierce, and we are Portage Proud. Good evening.
Great job, Olivia, if you're out there watching our reaction. Excellent report. Thank you. Does anybody have any comments or questions in regards to the good news report before we move on? Okay, if not, are there any adjustments to the agenda from the board? Nope. Board reports. Do we have any board reports? Are you sure you don't have a board report?
Well, I could say that.
Over here, we're like this. We're like,
Trying to
we're ducking.
set a record here?
No,
The meeting if we didn't have a-
Yeah. She set me up last time too, that's why I did that.
So the Education Foundation Board is gonna be meeting tomorrow, so just get ready for the next meeting, and I'm sure I have plenty to talk about.
Thank you. Okay, next we have our superintendent's consent agenda, which has the approval of the personnel report for October the 10th, our donation report, and facility use request report. Do we have a motion to approve the superintendent's consent agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Now, the motion is second. Any discussion?
I'd like to say thank you to two businesses that donated over $10,000. And one was for adopting a classroom accounts, and the other one was for school supplies. So thank you to those individuals. I know we usually don't name them, but, you know, these donations, I'm sure, are gonna help a lot of students. So thank you to them.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, call a roll, please.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Next, we have our board's consent agenda. Includes the meeting minutes of our executive session on September the 26th, our meeting minutes of the regular board meeting of September the 26th. Do we have a motion to approve the board's consent agenda?
I make a motion to approve.
Second?
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, call roll, please.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Okay, we have no old business. Under new business, we have our discussion of terms of the tentative teacher agreement. Dr. Alnez, Attorney Elwood?
Dr. Allen, I'll take this one.
Okay.
Just kidding. I knew I had, I talked to her today. So the terms are set forth on the screen, I think, or they were. They were in your board docs. Generally, we were able to reach a tentative agreement within 2 meetings. We actually got it done. Most of the team left about, 2:33, and then they sat there and typed it out, and Sally was our representative. And we were able to agree to terms. It was much more, it just went much better this year. We were happy about that, and hoping to continue to build that relationship. $50,000 minimum starting salary, teacher salary range of $50,000 to $79,450, over a 7.2% average salary increase. A teacher with 15 years of experience in 2017 to 2018, who now has 20 years experience, has seen salary growth of 26.7, average 5% annual over the last 5 years. Again, this is available on www.portage.k12.in.us. And the teachers have already approved this TA. You guys are hosting a meeting on the 13th. I will not be available, but on the 13th to ratify, hopefully, if you decide that. And then tonight, I believe, is a public hearing.
Thank you.
Did I get that right, Nick? All right.
This is a public hearing then, so we do need to open a public hearing.
Yes.
Okay. At this time, I'd like to open up a public hearing for the collective bargaining agreement with the PAT. Is there anyone here to speak against? Is there anyone here to speak against? Is there anyone here to speak against? Is there anyone here to speak for? Is there anyone here to speak for? Is there anyone here to speak for? Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing. And thank you, Attorney Elwood, for your hard work, along with the members of the PAT and other members of the administration that participated in that successful bargaining. And it's good to see that working together, and what I believe is going to be another historic pay increase for our teachers. So we're very proud of that.
All the members of our team, Associate Superintendent Mike Stevens, Business Manager, what's your new title? Director of Finance. And Sally Clark, our HR person, did a great job. It was a team effort. A lot less caucusing. Sally was our spokesperson. Sean was there. Benny was theirs, and it went well. So.
Great, thank you. Any other comments about that before we move on?
If I may, I just would like to specifically point out that in order to prioritize the board's desire to make certain that we did address any areas of compression that were left, that still needed to be addressed. That was a priority for both teams, as was stated by the board in last year's, that would be for this year. And also something that our teachers have wanted over time is, and forgive me if I use the term incorrectly, was a salary schedule. Is that accurate?
Yes. Yes.
So that was something else that was put in place as well. So, and you know, it's only good for that duration of that particular contract, but nonetheless, it makes things clear for them to be able to accurately portray, and we will make sure that those columns, rows, that people are on those appropriately. But I think that those were two things that were just an additional highlight out of the respective parties' desires.
Thank you. And another year of no insurance rate increases,
That is accurate.
which is important too, because we're seeing, what I'm hearing from other districts, that's not necessarily the case.
That is true.
So that's good. Thank you. Okay, next we'll move on to our acceptance of the formative assessment grant funds for the 2022-2023.
The Indiana State Board of Education did approve our formative assessment grant. PTS will receive $87,165 for the 22-23 school year. This grant supports the use of our NWEA MAP growth assessment and math and reading in grades K through 9, NWEA reading fluency for K through 2, and the PSAT in grade 9. So it's important that we have these formative assessments to address where we need growth, and also how to track during times of benchmarking that growth and seeing how to propel us forward and make adjustments to any of our goals. So it's a huge amount of dollars that greatly help us to diagnose and then prescribe what needs to be done for students individually and on a larger scale.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the formative assessment grant funds?
Second.
We have a motion, a second, any discussion?
I'd also like to say that sometimes as educators and parents, and especially the students, they think they get tested a lot of assessments, especially in February, March. But as our superintendent stated, you know, the reason for that, the purpose is not to overload the students, is to find out the areas that students need support. And as parents, I guess what you can tell your children is just do your very best. Do your very best. And for teachers, you know, we continue in their support staff to support the kids in the areas where they need additional help, and those students are excelling. You know, we congratulate them and praise them for all the hard work that they do.
Thank you. Any other comments? Hearing none, call roll, please.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Next, we have our acceptance of the NESP grant funds.
NESP stands for the Non-English Speaking Program. This grant was approved in the amount of $82,232.74. It supports the salaries of 4 non-certified staff members that work to identify our limited English proficient students and the professional development that's targeted to meet those students' needs. Additionally, the grant provides supplies and materials to support the instruction, as well as funding Elevation, which is the software program that helps us to track our English learners. And it also provides professional development as well.
Thank you. Do we have a motion to approve the NESP grant funds?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
There's a motion, a second. Any discussion? Call roll, please.
Trustee Williams, yes. Trustee Wilkie.
Yes.
Trustee Finley.
Yes.
Trustee Vasquez.
Yes.
Trustee Maleta.
Yes. Okay, next we'll move on to our superintendent reports and updates.
As you know, a goal that I had set out for this year was to get some additional opportunities for feedback from our employees as well as parents and then the greater community as well. So far, we have completed 2 forums. One was on culture and climate after reviewing some of our high reliability schools results and looking at some solution-based opportunities to capitalize on with employees. We then, last week, did a curriculum forum where we looked at any gaps in curriculum for those who attended and had any information to share, any wish list type things. And as Dr. Stevens had approached with this group, we talked about similar like what we do in our professional learning communities, what do we do when the kids get it, what do we do when they don't, what are the areas of need that, whether it be professional development, additional resources to supplement what the case may be. These are kind of just the start of where we're going to be heading with getting additional opportunities for employees to give feedback to us. But it's been nice to see folks in both of those sessions that were from various departments. And so it was a great one.
Have you had good turnout for those so far?
I definitely think that we still have had open space in each one of those, and we're filling those at 20, and then if we need to open another one, we will, because we want the dialogue to be able to be rich where it kind of that conversation is flowing. So we've not hit 20 in any one of those yet. Our largest one is set for tomorrow. This is a parent one on safety and security. So, and if we need to do another one on that, we absolutely will, but anyone who signed up did get into that one as well. And then we also have one scheduled for November 9th. Now, that one will be at 10 a.m., and that's for the business community and community in general about resources, partnerships, opportunities to just support our overall community, ideas they may have. You know, some people say, I want to help, how do I help, where do I help? And we'll give some suggestions as well. I think as the school year kicks off, I anticipated that there would be a slow movement towards attending these. So far, the feedback's been very positive, that they've been beneficial just to have some conversation without, you know, this rolling agenda of items that we're going through, just open conversations. And then we are getting feedback from them about a week after those conclude. What additional things would you like to see in the future? Because now, once we've had a couple, we'd like to also hear, what else would you like to sit and talk about? We may also start looking, Melissa and I spoke today about opportunities to go to specific schools. And, you know, with their site-based team, their leadership teams have some things maybe that they'd like to address, or our support staff wants to talk more about de-escalation strategies, because things that may be occurring on the playgrounds, on the buses, whatever the case may be, we can work through that. I also just wanted to share with you that we are looking at the crisis in education, which is no secret to anyone, which is honestly what we learned at ISBA this weekend, or this week past, is that morale and engagement, employee engagement is a struggle, even more so than it has been. I am, as you know, a part of the group for EPIC with superintendents. There's 20 of us, and we are currently studying the culture fix and examining what are some of the root causes, and also looking at how that impacts us as an individual district. I want to also share that on October 20th, we'll be attending a webinar with the National Superintendents Association about this very thing. And then Dr. Stevens and I are in the process of setting up the interview with the Superintendents Association to discuss kind of from our perspective what we're seeing, fully knowing that those situations are out there, they exist, they are in our culture, our school culture as well. And we just want to get to the root of those so we can best support our employees, our families, our students, and correct those things where we have missteps or where we just maybe have assumptions, and address things collectively as an entire PTS team and community. I wanted to share with you, and I will get you further information in your update this week, the chamber banquet that is going to be taking place in November. I wanted to share with you that there are some awards that the school district will be receiving. I have not shared with anyone at this point in time, so I'll send that to you as well in the update, but also wanted to know if you were interested in attending, so I will send that to you. I wanted to share that our Porter County Education Services, who the 7 districts in Porter County belong to, they are represented by CETA, which is the Special Education Teacher Association. They've been working with the PCES administration regarding any opportunity for the teachers and paraprofessionals to then become employees of the member districts that they serve. So I just wanted to make you aware that that is an ongoing conversation, discussing this with the teacher representatives. And also today, Dr. Stevens had shared with our discussion team that these are ongoing conversations to see when that can occur. And again, that's looking at pay that is similar to what they're receiving in our district and the gap that we have between our PCES teachers and our Portage teachers. Same thing with our paraprofessionals. We have a policy meeting today after today's regular meeting. I also wanted to share with you that next board meeting on the 26th, I'll be bringing before you an adjustment for the paid holiday for October break. All I want to share is that that is in our agreement with USW. The only thing that I failed to bring before you was the non-union group to make sure that that also is their paid holiday as well. We did that with the insurance adjustment a while back. So again, just making sure we're equitable in all areas, and that's a place that we're going to make sure that we shore up. Instructional rounds are going on throughout the district with the new evaluation tool. I thank Dr. Stevens and several of our teachers who really took the lead on that. Our principals are in those classrooms and doing a great job, and our teachers have given us some good feedback already. And to parents, tomorrow is the last day to sign up for the vaccine clinic. That is the deadline that will be taking place next week. And this is, again, just regular student vaccines for 6th grade or whatever the case may be. This is not COVID vaccinations. This is just your regular child immunizations. We are doing a lot of those in the teen clinic, but for other students as well. And then just a note to all of you, I'll be bringing forward a date change for graduation this spring so that we can get that to parents. We've had some feedback about some change of that date. The high school is going to be notifying Dr. Stevens on what date would work for them, and then I will bring it before you so we can get that communication out to families in enough time.
Great, thank you. Are there any items that aren't on the agenda that the board would like to bring up?
Yeah, yes, I would. Just wanted to say congratulations to our boys soccer team who won their sectional over the weekend. They beat Valpo. Yay! That's always a celebration. I don't care what sport it is. I'm sorry, Valpo people. We had a good time with you guys at the conference, but it's back to business.
And that regional is here
Yes.
on Wednesday or the
Is
Thursday?
it Thursday? I will double check. Yes.
Yes.
We'll beat Lake Central.
Yes, B, let's go. My neighbor's actually one of the athletes, so I had to tell him congratulations, so great job. And I wanted to say that this is the second year that the federal government has acknowledged Indigenous Peoples Day, so I wanted to say that and thinking about equity of our community as a whole. And it's celebrated on the same day as the Columbus Day, but it's to honor the cultures and the histories of the Native American people, and it's centered around reflecting on their tribal roots and the tragic stories that hurt but strengthen their community. So I wanted to make sure that we acknowledge that as a board as well and as a community. Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee Williams, would you like to give us an update on the vape? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we discussed before with that tobacco vape business that's across from the middle school. The board or a few of us had seen it right when it opened, so I think myself and Andy had reached out to proper authorities, and the board was kind enough to also get behind a resolution that we sent to local officials, state officials. I've received word that the business has had their tobacco certificate revoked. They're looking to move. I don't have the date on that yet, but I think the action by the members on this board helped facilitate getting that through rather quickly, so pretty happy about that.
And I got a call from State Representative Chuck Mosley this morning, and he sent me a draft of a letter, a copy of a letter that he had sent recently to the ATC, the Alcohol Tobacco Commission, about it as well. So he was pleased to hear that as well.
And just for the record, we don't fault the business itself. They can operate somewhere else, just not within your distance of a school that the state requires.
Right. Thank you.
Good job.
Pardon me?
Wednesday at 6 is regionals.
Wednesday at 6 here. Fantastic. So the only thing I have left is, we all just attended the National School Board Indiana School Board Association conference, and we all seen various things, and I know our schedules are pretty tight in October's, but maybe beginning in November, we can start doing public work sessions at the end of this meeting to discuss some of the things, because there were some ideas, and that's why we go there, to learn things and discuss those ideas. And I also want to emphasize, they're called public work sessions for a reason. Public is welcome to be here. They're informal meetings that we do after this meeting. So anyone from the public who'd like to be here and hear some of the things that we had discussed are welcome to attend this as well. So we'll get those on the calendar. I'll reach out to the board. We'll
Yes.
get some dates.
So I did
schedule
just
that.
tentatively ask Cindy to put on the books November 14th and November 28th to have a work session scheduled after both November meetings to share our conference professional development from ISBA. I figured at least then, if we have those two on the books in advance, then we can, adjust as needed. But if nothing else, everyone, if your time permits, to try to keep the 14th and the 28th after the meeting. And then, we can determine who's going to share which and when.
Yeah, great, thank you. Does anybody have anything else? I did not see any forms come up, so we don't have any public comment. Okay, so with that, our next meeting is on Tuesday, October 25th at 5 p.m., and that is immediately after the, what do we call them?
The dedication of the
dedication
L3.
of the L3 lab
Yes.
at Portage High School, where the meeting will take place.
Yes.
That's at 4 o'clock, the meeting will be at 5, so.
You are correct.